Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs of all ages, you found it. Small Business Mornings is on the air. I'm your host, Pat Miller, the Idea Coach. This is the daily meeting for small business owners everywhere to catch up on the news, get in the know, and have a coffee break with your coworkers, especially if you don't have them. That's the purpose of the show. So grab your cup, enjoy some coffee, and let's get ready to small business together. On today's show, I got some big news on today's show. Disney Plus is showing us the future of streaming TV. They're revealing where we're heading. I made some comments on the show recently that I was kind of nervous about, and thankfully I'm off the hook. I'm in the clear, and I will share that with you. And I've got a big announcement. I'm going to add a co-host. It will no longer just be me hosting Small Business Mornings. I'm so excited to reveal my co-host. Stay tuned. I will reveal who that is. Two other things. Meme of the day, if you're ever annoyed by getting too many phone calls. And our question of the day, what is the weirdest thing you've ever memorized? We've all got something that we've memorized that's still weird and it's like burned into your brain. Everyone's got one. What's the weirdest thing that you've ever memorized? Okay, so if you're with us this morning, say good morning in the chat. And if you didn't see yesterday's show, we want to especially celebrate anyone that's watching the show and commenting for the first time. So what will happen on a show like this, and I'm watching the metrics, the show is going boink, boink, boink. That's the growth sound, boink, boink, boink. And I'm watching it grow, grow, grow. And I'm like, okay, we got a bunch of people lingering in the background, but they haven't said, hey, Pat, good morning. It's my first time commenting. We've got a little special welcome for people when that happens. So if you're with us this morning for the very first time, or you haven't commented yet, but you've been checking out the show, quit lurking, put into the comments that this is your first time viewing the show, or at least the first time commenting. And we've got a little celebration set aside just for you. Okay, let's get into the news. Before we do that, let's do our caffeine check. Our caffeine check for the day is, how do you take your coffee? Simple question. You know it reflexively because you take your coffee the same way every morning, I would imagine. It's not like you take cream and sugar one day and then the next day you do it totally different. So do you like cream in your coffee, sugar, maybe a little latte, whatever? I like my coffee black with ice cubes. Ice cubes. Why ice cubes? I want ice cubes so I can cool it off faster, so I can shove the life-giving caffeine into my big fat face as quickly as possible. So how do you take your coffee? Think about that and enjoy your coffee this morning. Wait a minute. Jennifer Smith, is this your first time commenting? Is this your first time commenting, Jennifer Smith? Where's Jennifer Smith? Right there. I think it is Jennifer's first time commenting. That means we get to celebrate. Everyone say good morning, Jennifer Smith, and thank her for commenting. Great to see you, Jennifer. Thank you for joining us this morning. We want to make sure that people know that they're not here unless they're commenting along with the show, because this is a dialogue between you and me. So, it's your second. Well, we'll celebrate it like it's the first, Jennifer. So welcome. So everyone say, hi, Jennifer. Thanks for commenting again. Okay, let's do the news, shall we? Enough messing around here. We've got our caffeine check-in. We've already screamed. Let's get going. I mentioned Disney Plus is going to show us the future of streaming, what streaming is all about. Because there are changes coming to Disney Plus, and I think they've kind of revealed where all of this is headed. Because entertainment at your house, it's kind of broken. We all hated cable. I'm not nostalgic for cable. Think back to when the only way to get good TV, meaning not network TV, was cable. And you had to buy all of those channels, like, I don't know, 150 channels to get the two that you actually wanted. It cost a fortune, but that was the way that it was. So we just kind of accepted it. But then, online streaming became a thing. And the big media companies realized, hey, I could make a lot more money if I could get them to subscribe directly to me. And we could like cut out the Time Warners and the Spectrums of the world. If they just had my app, more money for me. So that became kind of cool a couple of years ago, right? All these streaming services start coming up. We accepted that. Well, now, instead of having $15 a month to get exactly what you want and no $150 cable bill, we may be headed back in that direction. Because if you're like me, you've got Netflix and Amazon and Apple and Paramount Plus and Disney and Hulu and Max and. So we've kind of built our own unbundled cable on our TV. But the Disney move that they've announced is kind of revealing where it's all headed, and we are to blame. Do you think that these media companies are going to just grow their revenue by getting more subscribers? Probably not. There's a limited number of subscribers you can go get. So how can they continue to raise revenue? Because we can't stand still. You can relate with that. You got to make more money every single day. So are they going to rely on getting more subscribers? The trend and what Disney is revealing today, they're going to do what we all accepted with Hulu, and we should have never accepted it with Hulu. Starting September 6th, that's today. What day is it? I don't even know. Where am I? I have no idea. Starting today, Disney Plus customers can subscribe for only $1.99 a month. That's pretty cool. It's a discount off of their $7.99 a month package. Now, wait a minute. I thought Disney Plus was like $14 a month. It is, but this is a discounted plan. How is it discounted? Wait for it. An ad-supported version of Disney Plus. No. We accepted it with Hulu. Now it's coming to Disney Plus, and it's going to be coming to all of the platforms. You think some of these other platforms won't? As soon as one of these platforms starts seeing their revenue go bing, 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 with more ads being injected, you know that's what's coming. You know it's coming. Would I watch Billions if I had to watch ads? Yes. That's a given. Would I have watched ads in succession? Yes. So if we will accept it, then it will be done because cash flow. So here's where it's going. In the next 18 months, I'm predicting this is what every one of these streaming services is going to have. And I don't think it'll be $1.99 a month. I think it'll be about what we're paying right now. It'll be about what we're paying right now, and we'll have ads all over our streams, and we only have ourselves to blame. We suck sometimes. Because interruption ads, that's the way we've always consumed content. It's all over YouTube, right? Remember the days when there weren't interruption ads on YouTube? No more. So we're going to end up in about 18 months, interruption ads all over our succession and $150 a month in expenses. That's where it's going. And if you're like me, have you had this thought? I've actually had this thought. I've caught myself thinking, wouldn't it be great just to have cable again? Like just cable. Like there's the box, here's the remote, no passwords, bzz, it's on. Have you ever thought about that? I've thought about that. And then I realized that cable was awful. Here's one good thing about Disney Plus. Okay, so that's a bummer story, right? Bummer. Let's do a good part of this. The good part about Disney Plus is The Little Mermaid begins streaming today. And I'm sorry, you can judge me if you want. I love that movie. That's a classic. And Ursula, the Sea Witch, is she not like the greatest Disney character of all? She's up there. She's in like the top 10 Disney characters of all time. Ursula, the Sea Witch. She's badass. Okay, let's do a fun story. That was a sad story. Let's do a fun story. If you're not quite feeling it yet today, like the point of this show is to wake you up, have you say good morning, see that there's other people around you, realizing that you don't have to small business alone, get you ready for the day. And sometimes when you join the show, you're not quite ready to small business. Like, you know what? The ice cubes didn't cool off the coffee fast enough, and I just need a little bit of something before I go out and do my thing. So if you're not quite feeling it, this story is for you. A Massachusetts town was beefing up its speed enforcement in front of the local school. So they thought, I know, we will go to the lanes of traffic and we will just mark the heck out of the lanes of traffic. So everyone that came close would know, hey, buddy, slow down, school zone. Well, it didn't quite go as planned. Yeah. Isn't that awesome? That is so great. That just makes me know that I'm not the only one making giant mistakes. Isn't that fantastic? And what makes it so great is that's right in front of a school. It's not like they painted the back of a tanker truck and misspelled a word. No, they misspelled school in front of a school. What do you think about that, Rick the Business Beaver? I think that's great. Oh, yeah. By the way, this is my new co-host of the show, Rick the Business Beaver. He even makes noise. Rick the Business Beaver. Now, okay, there's a story, all right? Because you don't just whip out Rick the Business Beaver without explaining the story. So, first of all, he says hi. So, I was sitting here thinking, there are times when I need someone to talk to on the show. And yes, we're having the conversation in the chat, but sometimes I actually need someone to talk to. And I thought, who could I have on call? Who could I have on call? Who could I have standing by to be like, hey, what do you think about the thing? And then I realized I just needed someone to talk at. I didn't really want someone to talk with. So I just wanted to have someone that's like, all right, can you explain this to me, Rick? Rick the Business Beaver. New co-host. Small Business Mornings right here. And watch, should we put him in his place of honor? All right, Rick the Business Beaver is going to go right over here. Can you see him? There, see? You can see him, right? Let me turn off the school zone thing. Yes, there he is. He's right there. Perfect. All right, so everyone say, hello, Rick. Rick is our friend. So if you hear me randomly reference Rick the Business Beaver, you know why. Because people that are just joining the show or, in like 6 months when we have 8.2 billion viewers, they might wonder, who the heck is Rick the Business Beaver? You were here on day one when we whipped out Rick for the first time. So there you go, Rick. Welcome to the show. Can you hear him over here? You can hear him, right? Awesome. So there you go. Now I have a co-host. Now I feel like I'm not growing it alone because I have my friend Rick. That's great. Susie, no one brings out Rick the Business Beaver ever. Well, I did. That just happened. Yes. And let's see. Oh, Jennifer, yes, your dog likes Rick. Yes, see? Now we get to talk to the animals. We are now not just a one species show. Oh, nay. Small Business Mornings is for all of your employees, your humans, and your dog coworkers. Rick. Ooh, he was excited by that one. Yes, Rick the Business Beaver. Thank you, Patty. Hi, Rick. He says hi back. Okay. Yes, we're not totally losing it, but yes, we have Rick the Business Beaver now on set. Okay. I have a massive relief to share with you. Massive relief. Oh, and there's my real dog. She wants to know all about it. Massive relief. And thank goodness. Last week, Burning Man happened. And at Burning Man, it rained. And everyone was just dunking on Burning Man. Lots of mud. Rich people were inconvenienced for the first time. Lots of jokes were made. All over the place. Twitter was a Burning Man joke factory. I made jokes on the show. And it was, hey, look, they thought they were going to paradise and there's a bunch of rich people and, I don't know. It just was fun to make fun of. Then this morning, there's a piece that was put in The Guardian, like a real piece that was put in a real publication that just kind of sums up everything about doing a show like this or speaking on social media or just having an opinion or even telling jokes. This is real. This is something that was put in The Guardian this morning. And I thought to myself, something about it just didn't hit me right. Yes, it's okay to laugh at wealthy Burning Man attendees mired in muck. Moira. Wow. Thanks for the permission, Moira. I was really worried about it if I could make some jokes about Burning Man, but boy, Moira says it's okay. Awesome. Awesome. Let's just step back for a sec. Can we look at this in a vacuum? I mean, she sat down at her desk and thought, you know what? Everyone's making fun of Burning Man. And you know what? I've decided that's okay. And I'm going to write an article about it, dag nabbit. What? So at least Moira thinks it's okay that I can make jokes. Thank you very much. And you look thrilled in that headshot, by the way. Could you look less excited? Try and look less excited, Moira. And listen to this quote inside the article. Burning Man is now a magnet for the kinds of people who make a lot of money by devoting their lives to upholding the unjust status quo, and who go to Burning Man in part to shore up their smug sense of being creative innovators as they endeavor to make things worse for the rest of us. No. People go to Burning Man to get high and screw, Moira. That's the agenda. Why am I going out in the middle of the desert? Get high and screw. Right, Rick? Yeah, see, even Rick agrees. See, Rick's going to be really handy because anytime I need someone to agree with me, Rick can agree with me. That's why people go to Burning Man. And that's why when it literally rained on their parade, it was kind of funny to tease them because this wasn't some like rescue operation. It wasn't some charity case. It was a bunch of rich people that went to the desert to get high and screw, and it rained on them. But fortunately, Moira thinks it's okay. So I can continue my show because I now have judgment that it's okay to make fun of them. Whew. Thank goodness. Meme of the day is coming up. Question of the day too. And the question of the day, I want to get you thinking about this one because the question of the day is, what's the most random thing that you have memorized? Everyone's got something. Everyone's got something randomly memorized. So think about that. But one more fun story, because the Moira thing kind of made me mad, frankly. So I had to share that. But let's get back on the fun side of life here. There's one more fun story. And all the real news is down in the ticker, by the way. You know that by now. So there's real news down there. But the fun story before we get into the meme of the day and the question of the day. The police in Lancaster County, Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, where I used to live, they got a call from a motorist. Hey, there's somebody driving on the wrong side of the road. What's going on? Oh my gosh, this is a quote. This is a quote from the video. I'm on Highway 77 going north. And there's someone on the wrong side of the road, and they almost ran me off the road. Well, police freak out, right? They respond. They pull over the guy that was on the wrong side of the road. It was the guy that called in. So, this is also part of the video. Sir, do you know why we pulled you over? Yeah, I was on the wrong side of the road. Sir, do you know that you called us and told us that you were on the wrong side of the road? Oh, jail. Easiest DUI criminal ever. Yeah, I'm doing something you should pull me over for. Here's exactly where I am. Criminal. Awesome. That's awesome. And it's kind of a theme. It's back to our misspelling school in front of a school, right? So if you're feeling like you're just kind of stumbling around this morning, you're not ready to small business, or you're making mistakes in the business, other people are making mistakes too. So just know that that's happening. All right. Our meme of the day addresses that feeling you get that's a huge inconvenience. When you're doing your thing or you're walking around When your phone rings, is that a good or a bad thing? Like, do you look forward to people calling you unannounced, not meetings, but like, oh, my phone is ringing? I think there was a time in my life when it was like, oh, cool. I wonder who this is. Now, that's not what happens. There are only 3 reasons why people ring my phone. Someone's selling something, someone's in the hospital, or I'm running late. Those are really like the only 3 reasons why people call me. Selling, hospital, late. Only reason why the phone rings. That's it. So most of my communication on the phone is texting people. And there's kind of an unwritten rule, isn't there? When you text someone, you're supposed to text back. If you're annoyed that the phone rings when you text someone, today's meme is for you. When you text someone hi and they call you instead, and look at his face like, oh, for the love of Pete, what? Like, isn't that the feeling? You text someone and they call you back? Get out of here. Text, call. Don't mix. Don't mix. That is definitely the case. If you're joining us, this is Small Business Mornings. It's the daily morning show for solopreneurs and small business owners. I'm Pat Miller, the Idea Coach, and the point of the show is to catch you up on the news, mostly down here in the ticker. Talk about some stuff to get you thinking, maybe tell a few jokes, have some fun, and connect with one another's in the comments. So if you're with us this morning, tell us hello in the comments and contribute to our question of the day. Should we get on with the question of the day? What is the weirdest thing you've memorized? Now, I've given you some time to think about this. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee while you consider it. What's the weirdest thing that you have memorized? Some people memorize the numbers of pi. And I don't know how they do that. 3.1457866213496. I don't know those numbers. I was totally making that up. And here's a good one. We memorize things for weird reasons, and there are things that just stick in our head. Stephanie Kern, I can recite the alphabet backwards in English and French. Can you do that? Let's try that. ZYXWVUTS. That's hard. That sounds like a DUI test, doesn't it? Like the Lincoln, Nebraska cop would pull you over and say, hey, can you recite the alphabet backwards from Z? I could be sober as a judge. I'd be going to prison if they asked me for that. Let's see. Jennifer Smith knows the number of hours worked in a year. Random. Totally random. Maybe there's a reason why you had to memorize that, but totally random. What have you memorized? Many of us back in school, we were instructed. Like in my school, we had to learn and memorize the state capitals. Do you know the state capitals? Let's play a quiz. Do you know the state capital of Florida? No, it's not Miami. No, it's not Tampa. Tallahassee. How about the capital of Kansas? Yes, there's a town. There actually are towns in Kansas. No, not Kansas City. Topeka. Louisiana? Nope, not New Orleans. Baton Rouge. Good morning, Claire. Great to see you. Yeah, see, Jennifer knew that. Okay. How about North Dakota? This is one of the ones that always stood out to me. North Dakota, Bismarck. So of the weird things that I have memorized, and Claire, welcome to the show. Do you have anything weird memorized? The things that I have memorized mostly are song lyrics. Song lyrics. The end of the world as we know it by REM. REM's my favorite band, so I know all the words to that song. And Claire, of course you would. I don't know the capitals of the states, only the Canadian provinces, because Claire, Canada. Exactly. I don't even know all the Canadian provinces, Claire. I'm not a very seasoned international dude. But very good, very good. The other thing that I've memorized completely is are the lyrics to the Humpty Dance, because that's my go-to karaoke jam. Right? I don't need the screen. Screen. If you need the screen for karaoke, that's not really your song. We're dancing. We're doing eye contact, right, Rick? Yeah, Rick's seen me do Humpty Dance. It's a thing. Maybe someday you'll see it as well. All right, let's talk about, Susie knows random area codes. Isn't there a song by Ludacris about that, Susie? I think there is. Now, wait a minute, Patty. That is special. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Forwards and backwards. Wow. That is random. That is random. That is random. Very good. All right, let's do our announcements before we get out of this really fun, weird episode of Small Business Mornings. We are coming to Madison, boys and girls and cats and dogs of all ages. We're getting together in person next Monday, a new networking event. Serendipity Labs, 2:00 in Madison next week, totally free. I want to meet you. Susie Moon is hosting, so you know there will be inappropriate jokes flying left and right. We'll have some prizes and some good times. It's going to be great. So if you want to come, just tell us that you're coming. Just click the link and join us at that event, because it's going to be super fun. Madison, Wisconsin, next Monday, 2 p.m. Central. The other thing is, if you're like Claire and you really can't drive from Canada to Madison, although we would expect you to, Claire, because we are worth it, we're going to do a virtual meeting as well. We're calling it the Backstage Brainstorm, because I want to learn about you and your business. If you are tuned into Small Business Mornings, you understand that starting your day by yourself is sad and lonely. You want to be around really cool people and really want to understand how Don't Grow It Alone is a mission for this show and the Idea Collective. We're going to do a meetup of people that like the show, because I want to learn about your business. We're also going to do the Idea Slam brainstorming session. So that is totally free. Join us using that QR code. September 13th is the first time that show is going to happen. Then we're going to do it again on September 27th as well. So either way, we would love to have you join us at the Backstage Brainstorm that's coming up on the 13th here on the air. So there you go. We will end today's show with any questions, comments, or sarcastic remarks, anything that we haven't covered. Are we good, Rick? Yeah, Rick says we're good. I'm Pat Miller, the Idea Coach. Thank you for being a part of what we're building here. This daily show and the introduction of the Idea Collective and what we're doing to help small business owners win. It's really important. It's the thing that's missing from so much of our small business culture. We know to go out and network and sell stuff, but who's with you when you're doing the real work of building a business? We are here to walk with you each and every day. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., right here for Small Business Mornings. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Wait, no, we'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Talk to you then.